felt like I didn't have any life outside of athletics. I felt like I didn't have a social life. I felt like no one really cared about me. I felt like, and I honestly, I felt like if I'd gone, no one would care.
So today, we've got the pleasure of Charlie. So welcome in, Charlie. Thanks very much for joining me today, mate. Really appreciate it. So Charlie is a pole vaulter at national level.
Now Charlie Myers, local man from Middlesbrough, UK indoor champion.
What do we do to start with then, mate? What's the beginning bit of the session?
So first, when you get warmed up a little bit, just it's going to take a lot out of your body. It's a bit of a different sport, so we'll get cracking with the warm-ups.
I feel like I'm two-stepping.
Yeah. Okay, and then what we do now is to finish. Whenever we do our warm-ups to finish, we just do like a little bit of a sprint.
Rapid. I don't know what that noise was when I first started sprinting. So everyone knows my journey, my mental health journey. Do you want to tell us a bit about your mental health journey, how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, it's been a difficult one. Finally coming out the other side of it now. Like, been through a lot of things, and a lot of it is, I would say, is mainly to do with sport as well. Obviously, you get those kind of bits where you think sport gives you that happy, the endorphins, all that, and I do agree with that, but I think it can have the opposite effect, especially in elite sport. I think recreational sport's different. Yeah, every time you go and you feel good about yourself, but when it comes to actually competing in like elite sport and stuff, it can have a completely opposite effect dramatically. So
Can imagine.
yeah, I've had quite a few bits. I started off with sport, just loved it. I absolutely just, and I think I just lost my way a bit and just became more bothered. When I kind of like left university, it got to that point. It was like all my friends were getting jobs, and I was thinking, right, I want to do pole vault. Like, I want to do it, but then it was at that point where I was just under. Like, I needed to jump a little bit higher, but I knew I could do it, and to get like sponsorships, money, and stuff. So I just put everything into it this one year, and I just. Like, it did go okay, but I started getting injuries, and when you're thinking that, you're like, I need to do this, but you get an injury, it just goes down, and obviously like, you come up a little bit, but then you go down even further. So yeah, it just, to a point, got to like 2019, just hit rock bottom, if I'm honest with you. Never felt that low in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was just down to the frustrations with the sport?
Yeah, there was a lot of other things, like, towards it as well. I just broke up with my girlfriend at the time, who was like my first proper girlfriend. So that was obviously your first girlfriend's hard.
Yeah, definitely.
And then on top of that, I just left uni. Didn't really have a job. I was trying to put everything into my athletics.
So you say that financially, was it?
Financially, it was massive. Like, it was so hard. I remember on one of my lowest days, training had just went shit. I just literally, from in the indoors, I didn't have enough money to get the Metro home, so I was actually walking home. So I was walking back. It's about a 30-40 minute walk, and I just remember I think I had about like £2 in my account, and my rent was coming out in about a week's time, and I just was thinking like, one, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, two, I can't pay my rent. Three, why am I doing this? Like, why am I putting myself in this thing just for this, like this sport and stuff? So like, financially has been a massive part. And like, it comes to a point now, I think, in athletics and sport where it doesn't have anything to do with how good you are. It's got more to do with your kind of like presence on social media and stuff. So it's kind of went away from that fact of you're really good at what you do, your sport, because you jump so good, we're going to help you get even better. It's now went to, right, you can help us sell loads of shoes, you can help us sell this. So you've got 10,000, but you jump a metre less than this guy, we're going to give them 10 grand. And it's like, it's just became...
It's not right, is it?
Yeah, I understand why they do it. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's a business, they have to do that. But then it is hard, and it makes that step to elite sport that even harder. You lose so many people at university as it is, and then that's just making that step further even harder. Like, there was people who I was training with, and and well, not with, but I knew, and like we're friends and stuff, and they hadn't competed for like Great Britain and stuff, and they were getting like sponsorships, they were getting people messaging them free stuff, and then there's me, and I'm just like, yep. I was like, can't pay my rent, like working my ass off. I'm working like 4 different jobs to try and do this, and it just becomes a point where it's really hard, yeah. Okay, so this is your stick. So you reach up with your right hand as high as you can, and that's literally where that would always be start position. So that's 0 hands we call. All right, and then your next one would just go just below your chin. Okay, then as we go, we'll start on 0 hands to start, but when we start on the bed, I'll probably say like go 2 hands, 3 hands, 4 hands. All it means is you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be like how many you go up.
Sure.
Okay, so that's it. Right, we'll move over. We've got a bit of space over here to start with. And this is where it gets a bit complicated, okay? So, right hand, you've got to jump off your left foot, and you've got to go the right side of the pole.
Fucking hell.
This is the hardest part of it all, okay? So, if you're right hand, so the best way to do is just to have like a little walk through. So you'd go your left foot, and you'd go the right side of the pole, like that. Yeah, okay, it's perfect. So then what we're going to do is on the first one, I'll come and give you a hand. It's basically a long jump like in school. So we call it across the river. All you got to do is put the pole down. You're going to step with your left. You're going to jump. And over you go. So there, other hand on. There you go. Nice. So if you have a few more goals going down, the faster you go over, and the faster you jump and run, the easier it is. There you go. That's all right. Just need to remember to jump a bit higher.
So I was going to tell you that.
So we'll get straight on the bed, and we'll get on there, and we'll see how high we can get you.
Lovely. Let's do it. Oh God, I'm going to suck at this. So from the lowest point, which obviously I know sometimes you can't take face value, but you seem to be doing really well now.
Yeah, it's been really, really hard struggle to get back to where I am, and a big part of that is the support network I've created. I've got a really now small support network and I keep my circle quite small, and I like that. And every single person has helped me when I was at my lowest point, and it came to a point where there was people and they were just like, it becomes so bitchy and two-faced sport, and everyone just loses sight. Everyone's wanting to beat each other, do better than someone else, be like someone else, looking at someone else, and I'm just thinking, this is not why I started. I started because I want to jump high. I enjoy it. I love it. I just want to jump as high as I can. And so there's been a few people. My coach has been massively helpful. My mum and dad, can't thank them enough. My dad went through serious depression a few years ago, which was quite hard on me. Yeah, right. That was kind of when I went through depression and stuff as well. I kind of had in the back of my mind that I didn't want to be like my dad because he went to hospital for it.
Really?
And
how's your dad doing now, if you don't?
Oh yeah, he's great. If I'm honest with you, I wish he was back in hospital. He's annoying me that much. He's fine now. But good 3-4 years of his life, he was like, it's mad because when you think of depression, when I first found out about it with my dad, I literally just thought, as everyone does, he's a little bit sad, a little bit down in the dumps. I was like, he'll get over it, he's just having a bit of a bad time. And then when I actually so he had paranoia, so he was really bad. So my mum tried to keep it from me, and I remember there was a few times when the first time I knew he was being a bit weird. The first time I finally found out where my mum went, right, I have to tell him, is I had an awards night for, I think it was Teesside School Sports Awards, and I'd won Sports Person of the Year, Young Sports Person of the Year, and they asked to take one of the poles to show people, so they took one without me knowing, so I got on stage and had this pole, and they were like, oh, we'll get a picture with the pole. So I stood there, we had the pole, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, my dad flew down the middle of the aisle. So many people, and I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And he was shouting, he was going, no. And this is not like my dad. He was like, no, you're not allowed to take a picture, you're not allowed to take a picture. And I was like, Dad, fuck off. I was like, 'cause I didn't know.
Character for him.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was just being a twat, if I'm honest. And then it was because basically the way he was thinking is because there was branding on the pole, he thought that people were trying to get to him, and he thought the way they were trying to get to him was through me, and they thought by ruining my athletics career they would get to him. Really? So they thought that if they took a picture of that pole, that advertised, and then would get done for copyright, I would then get my thing. So then he was going mental. So I found out about that, and then that was a slow process of he lost about 4 years of his life, in and out of hospital, the meds making him all loopy and stuff. So And once I finally found out, I started to research about it and realised it's nothing to do with mood. It's literally like chemical imbalances in your head. And
Yeah, exactly.
as much as you want to be happy and I think you can't. Like, and when I realised that, I started to take a bit more interest in mental health and stuff.
I've always said, you know, you speak to some people now, and even now, like, with as much awareness as there is around mental health, some people still don't believe in it.
Yeah.
And I always say, before I lost my brother, I didn't really understand it, and I lost my brother and I started to understand it. But it wasn't until I went through it myself, that's when I thought, shit, this stuff's real. Like, and then that's when you understand it more than anything, really. So as a beginner, someone just starting out, what do you reckon a good height would be for me to aim for?
Oh, when my first competition I ever did, I was about 12. I jumped 230.
230.
Yeah. So
if I can't beat 12-year-old Charlie, then there's something wrong. So how high would you have the bar then, mate?
Okay, so this is 230. So it's what I started off in when I first started, and then my PB is 5'71". So it would be.
Shut the.
And that is where my PB is.
What the? What?
For the first one, it's literally nothing changes from what we did over there. It's like 3 rules: you run as fast as you can, don't stop. So a lot of people like to stop at the end, and then I have to work as hard as I can. You keep tight hold, and you just got to jump onto the bed, and you'll fly through. Might be a little bit wet on the bed.
That's fine. I think that's the least of my worries.
Yeah. When it hit me, it just slowly went down and down, and I got to a point where like I just felt worthless. Just felt like, and I knew I had it. I was thinking, I was like, I feel like I've got depression, but I was like in denial. I was like, right, I was like telling myself, I was like, just feel happy, and I was like, but I just couldn't. And every day I was telling myself to feel better, feel happy. It just was getting worse and worse.
Was it making you worse as well?
Yeah, and it just got to a point where, if I'm honest with you, I got to a point where, like I said, all those things, that night when I was walking home was my worst part. Everything was to a point. I felt like I didn't have any life outside of athletics. I felt like I didn't have a social life. I felt like no one really cared about me. I felt like, and I honestly, I felt like if I'd gone, no one would care. So I actually did try to end it twice. There was one time, it was kind of stupid, and thinking back at it was quite funny that I thought that was actually going to end it. Like, I like to laugh about it now. If you can't laugh about it, do you know what I mean? Like,
of course, man. Yeah.
I don't want people, if I talked about it, to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and start crying. Nah, just like, yeah, it's quite funny. But I just literally, I was bad. I was in my room, and I just was like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just.
Nah, I've been there, mate. I've been there.
It just feels so low, and I just thought, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. And I went and got as many pills as I could.
Really?
Like, I don't mean as in like drug. I just meant like, I went in my cupboard. I was like, right, there's 2 packets of ibuprofen. There's 2 packets of, I don't even know what that was. That was from when I had diarrhea one time. I just got anything I could. I just took it all, hoping that the next morning I wouldn't wake up. And thankfully I did. And then, that time when I walked home, same again, my mum, like, I was literally in my head, I remember exactly where it was. It was the bridge just over there. I was walking and I was like, all right, next car, I'm gonna step in front. And I was ready to just step in front, and no word of a lie, I remember my mum used to ring me on my way home to just like pass the time and chat to me. And she rang me, and if it wasn't for her ringing me, because I just broke down in tears and I told her everything, because I never used to, because of what she did with my mum, I would never tell her about any problems I had.
You didn't want to put that pressure on your mum.
And I just broke down, told her everything, and she literally just helped me out so much. But if it wasn't for that, I would have been, another one, I would have been gone. So
it's mad, isn't it, how important it is to have a support network around you.
Yeah.
So I say this to everyone, and you know, having a good
and the
circle.
right people,
Exactly, mate.
Because you get that many people who like, you go to uni, you say your friends, stuff like that, but then when it comes down to it, like,
when you're in a moment like that you've just mentioned, you realise who the real people are. So, to the left.
To the right.
To the right.
Yeah, you just need to do that, don't you? Right, okay, off you go. Go.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, man.
Easy.
Sick.
See, this is the best bit. When everyone like does it on the floor, it's a bit boring. As soon as they get on the bed.
I was actually nervous before doing that. I never get nervous, and then I've done it, and
But you don't need my help anymore. So
it says.
We're gonna do 2 more at the same as that, but you're gonna do it on your own. So nice and fast. That's all right. So that time we just didn't jump. So you got there and you went, oh, I forgot to jump, all right? What we'll do is we'll put the bar up and we'll see what you can get.
Yeah.
Probably we don't want to injure you too much.
Yeah, no, that's sound. Let's do it.
All right. Trying the blast since that bad pan, try to find myself outside of athletics because I felt that has been major. I felt like I got so involved in the sport. One thing that helped, like, was the worst thing is I just felt like I had nothing out of the sport. So I felt like if I didn't do well in the sport and I didn't make it, there was nothing for me. So I've tried to like figure out what I like outside the sport, and I know that sounds stupid.
How's that going?
Yeah, it's great. Like I've figured out like Dan's helped me a lot. Like, we go to a lot of music festivals. We like a lot of music.
What music are you into?
Bit of, if I'm honest, I just love live music. Like indie rock type I like.
Yeah,
so we're off to Siget next week. So I'm looking forward to that. So we do that. I went and got myself a job for next year where I don't have to rely on athletics financially. I've got that. And yeah, just getting back to enjoying it, not taking anything too seriously. I love traveling as well, meeting new people. So I've done a lot of that. Like I went on a training camp to America this year, met so many great people, and that made me realize that I love traveling and I do want to continue pole vaulting because the amount of people I get to meet through pole vault, even if I don't do as well as I want. So yeah, that's been a massive thing, finding myself outside of the sport.
Oh, brilliant.
Really. Yeah.
No, I'm glad to hear it, mate. Yeah, lovely. Brilliant. No, I really appreciate you sharing your story, mate. I can imagine that probably wasn't easy. But I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing.
No, no problem, yeah.
You opening up like that, you know, the people watching, you might not think it, but someone will watch that and see how brave you've just been sharing your story and seeing that, you know, you was at that really low point. Yeah. Now you're back up here. It'll give, you know, hope for people watching that it is doable being that low to getting back to where you are now. So no, thank you for sharing, mate.
No problem. Yeah, hopefully that's the biggest thing I want to do. Just like it's took me a while to be able to talk about it. That's my mum after the thing. Like I did a blog one time about it. My coach asked me, and that was the hardest part. And I was like, and ahhing, like, do I do it? Do I don't? But then once it was out there and once people knew about it, I felt a lot more comfortable to do it. So. Yeah. So
the thing goes back to I always say, and I constantly try and push across that, you know, it's okay to talk, and you know, for me, and I'm guessing the same for you, is, you know, talking is a therapy in itself. Yeah. Getting it out there and opening up. You know, they say a problem shared is a problem halved at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like this.
I think you got it. The last one you flew over it.
Tell me again.
Just flew over it. Just go on, fly over again. That's it. Easy.
Okay.
Okay, nice and fast. Fast. Oh, yeah, that was it. You got over it. It's just the pole knocked it off. There you go. Do you want one more? See if we can do it where the pole doesn't knock off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah? I need to quit now. You beat me already.
I'm buzzing with that.
Okay, we got this. Same again. Oh. And that's why you don't land on the bar. You alright?
Fucking hell, that hurt. Oh. We got any war wounds?
Yeah, you got that's a nice one.
Feels like it looks bad.
Yeah, you see, that's what gets me, the hurt, the pain, like stuff like that. It gets me going. I love it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, yeah.
So we do that normally when we drop it from 570. So if it hurt that much then, literally it's the worst feeling. You see it. When you knock the bar off, you literally see the bar and you're just thinking, fuck, shit, here we go. Yeah. And it kills.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, fair play to you, because that takes some doing that. Is there any last little bits you'd want to tell the audience, tell the people watching, of what, again, you know, even now, you know, you're going good, you're doing well. What do you do now in your day to sort of keep yourself in the right mindset? Like, is there routine? Is there anything like your top tips to keeping in the right track and anything like that?
Just if in sport related, I would say never forget why you started. That's been a big thing. If you ever start getting caught up and getting too nitpicky about training, if it goes shit or if it like competitions, just be like, I didn't start to be like this good. Like, just remember why you started. You started to enjoy it. Like, it doesn't matter if you do well, you've done well. Like, end of the day, you're still going to do it because you enjoy it and stuff. And and I found one thing that's helped recently, the past month I've done it. So I've deleted Instagram.
Social media.
Yeah, so I've kept Facebook because obviously, you know, that's where your grandma and your grandma's. It's the only thing that can, like, people from the messages. So I've kept Facebook, but like I've still got the account, so I haven't deleted it because I will go back to it. I'm not saying I'm gonna, because I do think it's good, but I do think it's bad at the same time. So I will go back to it.
Yeah.
But I've just deleted it, the app, and I just think it's great because sometimes you look on there and you compare yourself to people. So I've just took my little breaks every so often. If you're feeling like that and you're feeling like, oh my God, I feel a bit shit, just take a break from, like, it doesn't mean you have to like delete it. Just take a break for a week, 2 days, like, as long as you want it, and that's massively helped as well.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It's, I say all the time, you know, too many people just comparing themselves to people on social media, on Instagram, and most of the time, you know, especially, it is the same for guys and girls, don't get me wrong, but especially for girls, you know, comparing themselves to
the models,
influencers and models and stuff like that, and it's just like, fucking hell, you're comparing yourself to something that's not real.
Half of them don't even look like that in real life as well, isn't it? Get half of them on that Catfish show and they'll be done.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to get absolutely started by someone.
People edit the photos that much to look like a version of themselves that isn't real to impress people they don't know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, isn't it, when you think about it like that?
Yeah, that's the thing, like, it is. And it is hard, like, don't get me wrong, like, I think sometimes people have a go at themselves because they find it hard to delete Instagram. It's became one of those things in life where you are so involved in Instagram. Yeah. Like, it is hard. When I first deleted it, I was like, I deleted it for 2 hours, and then I was sat in a coffee shop, didn't have anything to do, and I went, oh, I'll go on Instagram, and I logged back in, and I was thinking, what am I doing? Like, it just becomes natural. So even if you can only do it for a day, just do it for a day. Like, just do it for a little bit longer each time, and it will happen. So don't feel bad if it's hard to delete it. It's going to be hard. So,
yeah. No. Again, mate, I really appreciate you sharing your story. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, mate. So that's today's episode. Thank you very much for joining me today, Charlie.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate your time, mate. I really appreciate you sharing your story.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Didn't hurt your back too much.
I know, mate. Fucking hell, he's still killing. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.